Hello guys, I am doing more canning of meat, and here I'm doing stew meat, beef strips, beef chunks. I'm not trying to make a beef broth out of it though. I want these meat chunks to stay as full as possible. And while I was sitting here doing it and I was about ready to actually turn this off because it's done, oops, I thought, I might as well film a video for you guys. So what's in here is 9 pounds of stew meat, beef strips, beef chunks, all that. And then I added 8 cups of water, cups, not quarts, cups of water. And I just par cooked it, basically boiled it for about an hour. And then I'm just gonna stick them in the jars and prepare them for canning. Now, as I pull them out, we're gonna have to make sure that none of the pieces are too big, so we will be cutting some of the pieces down. Alright guys, we'll be back. Okay, next thing I did was I pulled out the meat, just the meat, and I'm cutting it down. We want it in little strips. You can can it in chunks if you want, but you want to make sure they're no more than about 3/4, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. I mean, that is way too big. You'd cut that in half in order to can chunks. We cut ours in strips. We prefer strips. Then all I'm going to do is cut them up, put them in my washed and sterilized jars, and then I'm going to use the broth water liquid that they were cooked in to top them off. So we're going to do that. We'll be back, you guys. Alright guys, here we go. We have all the meat jars cut up, sliced up. I like to always try and do a 1.5 pints of anything that I'm in the middle of doing. Alright, and then like I said, I'm just going to fill it back up with the juice that was boiled in, because there's vitamin and mineral and nutrients, and there is fat, but not much. Now, it looks, you know, dark and icky at the moment, but for 2 reasons. One, all that fat is, and chunks of loose meat are floating around in the water, so it will settle and calm down. And I don't know why I said 1, like I was going to have more to say about it. Always debubble. Hot water, clean cloth, and there's apple cider vinegar water in there. Boom, and then these will go into the canner. Alright, I'm going to finish filling these up and we'll be back, you guys. So there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4 jars of my stew meat all diced and ready to go. I didn't have anything else to do for meat, and I didn't want to go out of my way to pull stuff out, so I just did 3 jars of water. Then turn it on high, check your vent to make sure it's clear, check your buttons to make sure it works, put your lid on, close it. Remember, I always turn it on medium high. I don't like having mine on high. I just don't feel comfortable having it turned up and then turn it down, and then it may take longer to come up to a full venting steam, but I prefer it to do it this way, so that's what we're gonna do. Alright, you guys, we'll be back when this comes to a full vent, and yeah, on to the next thing. Alright guys, that is a full vent, and we let it vent for 10 minutes. As you can see, the button in the top, the button in the back is popped up, and I don't know if you can see it, probably not, that was hot. You can hear it. It's a full steam. You can see steam coming, well, I can see steam coming out of it. And we let it sit and vent for 10 minutes so that you get the pressure canner up to the proper pressure, or, well, remove all that excess air in order to put the weight on and bring it up to the proper pressure. And we let it vent for 10 minutes. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, we have been venting for 10 minutes. Now we just put our weight on there. Make sure you put your weight for your elevation above sea level. Here where I'm at, it's 9 pounds of pressure. But I use the 10-pound weight. You always round up, never round down. And then we're going to let this come up to a full, vigorous jiggle. And then once it's got a nice, steady jiggle on, we start the timer for 90 minutes and we let it process at that full jiggle. I love my new camera. It's my husband's camera. We've had it for a while. But I like using it for my editing. Anyways, my filming instructional. Anyways, let it come up, let it jiggle for 90 minutes, and then we will turn it off. Alright guys, we'll be back. And there we have it. That is processing. Gentle wiggle and jiggle, and we just let it go for 90 minutes. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, we've been processing for 90 minutes, so now all we do, turn it off, let it cool down completely on its own. Do not force it to cool down. Do not mess with the jiggle. Do not mess with the button in the back. We just let it be. We let it do its thing all by itself. We'll be back, you guys. There we have it. You got, I wonder how many times I've cut it off. I'm actually standing behind the camera now this time and not next to it. Oh no, I wonder how much of my stuff I've cut off. I need to learn how to... Okay guys, Mommiesaurus is still learning her camera, but here goes. Okay, button has popped down. So now we're gonna test it. And it's safe. So all we're gonna do is turn it. Now I never pull it off all the way right away because it's still really hot. And we want to let it slowly start cooling down. We don't want to cause any major fast cooling because it could cause your jars to break. So I just turn it and barely pull the lid off, and we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Alright guys, it's been sitting for 5 minutes, so we're going to open it up away from your face to let all that extra steam out. And then we're going to let it sit here for another 5 minutes and cool just a little bit more before we pull it out of the canner and onto the counter, where we're going to let it sit for a minimum of 24 hours. And if you can see in there, ooh, I love this camera. See that boiling? Ooh, are you going to focus? Look at that. That boiling lets us know that we got it up to temperature. Alright, guys, we'll be back. Alright, here we go. It has been 5 minutes. We're going to carefully pull these jars out. Now remember, at the moment, it still has floating of all the different meat going around. And remember also that this was not canned with water. This was canned with juice that it boiled in. So it will have debris. And it's not like it's harmful debris, it's just meat that had boiled. Alright, we're going to let these sit for 24 hours. 2 of the lids have already popped. The other 2 haven't yet. So we just let them sit and we don't touch them and don't mess with them for 24 hours. As you can see in the back here, they're still boiling because they were brought up to temperature. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, it's been 24 hours and as you can see they are beautiful. They've got their little, at the top, their little fat cap. That does happen. No matter how much you boil it out, you will get fat. And remember, I used the juice that I boiled it in to do this. So, and then of course you're going to have the sediment, which is fine. But as you see, when you tilt it, look at the beauty of that. Now we like the sediment in there because it adds flavor when I'm making my stews and stuff like that. Alright guys, quick, simple, easy canning video on canned stew meat. Alright guys, thanks for coming along and we'll see you in the next one. And remember everyone, stay positive. Bye guys.